Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series with me, your host Guile. And tonight I've got a good old juicy ladder match for you. This is an up-to-date match between TGXnubfriedrice and BlackDeath. Both these guys pretty high on the 1v1 ladder rankings at the moment. TGXnubfriedrice will be going Cybrin Blue up here at the top, and he's currently number 28th on the ladder. At least he was at last check. And likewise, BlackDeath also going Cybrin. He will be red at the bottom, and he's currently number 11. Incidentally, I've been watching a few of his games tonight, and he's on an absolute tip-top, phenomenal killing spree. He's won 5 out of 5, or 4 out of 4, one of those two. He's absolute fire, and so it'll be interesting to see if Nubfriedrice can end that killing spree. But we'll just have to see. Two different styles of opening. We've got Nubfriedrice going for bomber first. He's got that bomber out nice and early. We'll have to see what damage he can do with it. And BlackDeath has got those assault bots out first. And that's what I like about BlackDeath as well. He's not necessarily 100% conventional with the meta. Doesn't always go for this bomber opening first, but he's excellent with these. The placement of these light assault bots always does maximum amount of damage, seeks out those engineers, but he hides them away first. We'll have to see how well he's going to do this time. Meanwhile, TGXnubfriedrice's bomber, that's circling BlackDeath's base at the moment, just getting an idea of what's there. We'll have to see what he decides to go after as it comes in for its main pass. There's an engineer there, but that is protected by the relief of the land, so instead he's decided to go for that mass extractor. But you can see there is now one light anti-air, mobile anti-air out for BlackDeath. Meanwhile, BlackDeath's hidden his assault bots up at the top. Second bomb away. Takes out an engineer and... what was that? 2 engineers maybe. 2 engineers and a power plant look like. So bomber kind of paid for itself. Definitely worth it for Nubfriedrice. But meanwhile, up at the top, the assault bots coming in on the left-hand side. That looks like it's going to zone in on that engineer. And indeed, that engineer is down and out. And he's going to just park the other one up here next to this mass point in the hope that Nubfriedrice sends a engineer out to pick it up. Looks like he's not doing that right now. Death decides to just send that bomb, that assault bot in to get some scanning information, see what's going on. Now seeing some aircraft coming out from BlackDeath. He's got one inti out, now he's working on a bomber, so he's going to go and do some air damage of his own if he can. Another engineer picked up on the right by that assault bot, so you see definitely worth it, those early assault bots for BlackDeath. Promptly moves it well out of the way before that Mantis can zone in on it. And of course it's too early for these players to have any significant intel from radar, and so it could be another engineer about to be picked off. Oh, just missed out. If he'd been a little higher and hadn't decided to come into the base, he could have grabbed that. He's going to come in and attack that mass extractor, but I suspect he's not going to get very far with that. Meanwhile, bombers closing in for BlackDeath as well. Another set of bombs away. Not sure what that was aiming at. I think it's just going after the factory. That's definitely not maximum damage inflicted. Meanwhile, it's coming around for another pass. Definitely air superiority working with BlackDeath at the moment. Picks up that engineer on the left-hand side, so that's a nice little victory for him there. Obviously wary about the mobile anti-air that'll be out. It's out already, in fact. Taking care of those inties. So all in all, a decent little bit of harassment from BlackDeath there, and he's now moving his commander up on the right-hand side. He's going to take up those 2 mass points. And it looks like he's going to try and fortify this side of the map, but at exactly the same time, Nubfriedrice is pushing out with a small group of Mantis and the Combat Scout. He's going to try and pick up these mass extractors. And this is very typical on this map as well. You tend to get both teams pushing up opposite directions. I forget who it was. Was it Luzon and Nefarious or Armageddon who had a fight in the Imber Cup on this map, and they both fortified the left-hand side, actually. They both went over there and had this epic fight down here in the middle. Went on for absolutely ages, com on com, with tons of units. Both ignored the right-hand side altogether, pretty much, but that was another day, another game. Meanwhile, Mantis on the left-hand side. Nice little run by there by Nubfriedrice. Might pick up this mass point at the bottom. He does. And he's also managed to shoot off the Mantis at the top. The commander of BlackDeath's been moved into the middle. He's been picking up some of this mass that's located here. which is pretty wise. It looked like maybe TGXnubfriedrice got some of it on this side with his engineer. But both players spam getting underway in full swing. You can see queuing up huge quantities of factories on both sides. So there's not going to be a huge variety in stratagem, I don't think, or tactics for this match. I think they're both going to be going pretty much down the same route, get as many Mantis out as quickly as possible and try and overwhelm the opponent. Engineer picked up there in the middle for BlackDeath, and that mass point's going to go down as well. If you take a quick look at the economies, I've just slowed the game down a little bit to regular speed. Take a look at the economies. BlackDeath is sitting on 28, and TGXnubfriedrice is on 22, so not a great deal of air between them, but nevertheless a slight lead for BlackDeath. Mixing in some mobile arties now, BlackDeath as well, but help them there in that particular engagement. And these Mantis here are going to get sandwiched. Not exactly, actually, because TGXnubfriedrice is moving across towards the main base of BlackDeath with this little group of Mantis. He's going to pick up that mass point. Yes, he does. So, quite interestingly, I was just about to say, interestingly, it's TGXnubfriedrice that has all the map control, but that is, of course, because you see a T2 unit rolling out now, a Wagner, for BlackDeath. So that is why he has been a little slow on the production. It's not through lack of trying to, because he's been busy upgrading this facility, and he has now got T2. He's got that hoplite out already as well, so he's got a little bit more tank, a little bit more range, or at least he will have when they get there. That will be the end of that little push down the bottom. And that's interesting, actually, and it'll be interesting to see how TGXnubfriedrice responds to that, because conventionally speaking, once you get out-teched, it's pretty important to respond with either a switch of tech completely to a different strategy, and navy, obviously there's no navy and no water in this map, or to try and match your opponent as quickly as possible and get your own upgrade in tech. So very surprised that TGXnubfriedrice doesn't get some kind of upgrade. Of course, he may not have been aware, if his concentration had been up on this side of the map, he may not have been aware that there are T2 units on the field if he hadn't been looking. You can see those hoplites now raining fire down on the front lines of TGXnubfriedrice's troops, and he's forced retreats, he retreats, so he'll definitely know that T2 is in the mix now for BlackDeath. It's a question of how he responds. And that mass point will get picked up for BlackDeath, so trying to take a look at the economies again to see how that has changed things, that switch. So we're looking at 26 mass for BlackDeath, 24 for TGXnubfriedrice. So very, very little between the two on economies, but that tech could prove to be critical. Let's see a bit of comm on comm now, and TGXnubfriedrice's comm is looking very isolated. Nice overcharge there to deal with a lot of damage to multiple units, take out groups of Mantis. Neither comm upgraded, both doing equal damage to one another. Still lots more unit numbers, superior numbers for TGXnubfriedrice. And just wonder if he's going to try and outspam his opponent. I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest. He's actually, okay, so he's doing a different kind of tech switch. It looks like he's going for some kind of air rush, but of course this is tricky. He's not going to have time probably to get these up to T2. I suppose you could try and do some kind of Jester gunship rush, get lots of T1 out, but I'm not sure he's going to have much time. We've got a lot of units pushing up north now for BlackDeath, lots of hoplites in there. We've just literally cleared all of this out, and TGXnubfriedrice's command is looking a little stranded down here. But he has had success on the left-hand side. He's now pushing across with units of his own. There is a T1 point defense, which has been nicely constructed for BlackDeath. Of course, you've got a Wagner rolling in now, and that's going to deal all kinds of hurt. But of course, this is UEF. These guys are dead so much quicker. Look how appalling that gun is on the Wagner. Can't stand it. Hit the unit. There we go. I think a unit that was specified, or a race that was specified to be sort of technologically advanced would have better tracking, but you really don't. Meanwhile, TGXnubfriedrice managing to get rid of the units that was pushing up here, and a bunch of Inties being caught out on the ground. They're getting artilleried. That's a little lapse in concentration, very uncharacteristic of BlackDeath. losing a few units there. But still not seeing any T2 land for TGXnubfriedrice. He's still just massing T1 Mantis, the occasional artillery. He's not upgrading any of these that I can see. He's just pumping out inties now. And I sort of feel if he doesn't make the tech upgrade soon, he's going to start losing out. The longer this fight goes on in the status quo, it's going to benefit BlackDeath. Let's take a look at the economies once again and see how they're doing on upgrading. So BlackDeath is at 28. Looks like 24 for TGXnubfriedrice, but he's floating a lot of mass. He's low on power though, so doing any significant upgrading is always really tough on your power. You can see someone's queued up some wall sections. I suspect that's probably BlackDeath. Wants to shut down this whole area, stop this flood of units so he can focus on one side. Still no T2 tech. See, Hoplites just doing a little bit of skirting backwards and forward, just trying to pick off what units he can. Neither player wanting to commit overly here, because if you lose too many units on one front, they're literally difficult to get back into it. TGXnubfriedrice having great success on the right hand side. Very nice overcharge there. I have to say I'm very surprised at how well TGXnubfriedrice is dealing with this this lack of tech he's got comparatively. I mean, I know it's only one factory pumping out these units, and it is only Cybran, so the significance of T2 isn't as big as it is on some other races. You know, if it was a Seraphim or a Aeon, you started to get those assault bots or the Obsidians rolling out, then you would get rolled over. There's nothing you can do. See, nice mix as well of artillery in there. It's one thing that Cybran have got fantastic T1 artillery because they've got that stun, that EMP that they do when they land, disabling everything from it. But that's a lot of T2 crap that's in there now for BlackDeath. Still not wanting to commit though, just happy harassing the front lines. Looks like BlackDeath is making a push on the right-hand side with his commander, and he has got the gun upgrade as well, so that's going to give him a significant advantage. So there's a rate of fire upgrade on the Cybran commander, gives him an extra 100 hit points as well. Sorry, 1,000. We're talking about it. And this is not looking good now for TGXnubfriedrice. This is a major breakthrough. He's in the air, he's got one bomber. It doesn't look like he's doing anything. Okay, so he's instantly producing jesters. He's got to go for commit now for some kind of snipe, I would imagine. But the problem is, of course, you've got the T2 factory down here. It's so easy to get mobile T2 flak into the mix, and indeed he does have exactly that. So they're now rolling into the mix, and you know, jesters just aren't going to last 2 seconds against that. They're going to get instantly popped out of the sky, and unless you have an absolute ton of them. There's also a massive break happening on the left-hand side for BlackDeath, and really, TGXnubfriedrice has had to commit all of his troops to the right-hand side to try and deal with this impending attack. But BlackDeath's just withdrawing. He's got flak around him, so any Jester rush is not going to work. Jesters have come out. He's sending them straight across the map, but it's really not going to work, I don't think. He's promptly losing all of his factories on the left-hand side. Just watch them get absolutely murdered. Pop, pop, pop. That will be the end of TGXnubfriedrice for this game, I do believe. His comms way isolated out in front. He's trying to do as much damage as possible, and he quits. That was well played by BlackDeath, but yeah, TGXnubfriedrice, as soon as he saw that tech switch up there, rather than try and go for this the alternate stratagem of trying to switch to air and go for some kind of snipe, I mean, especially on a map like this when you're in this close proximity to your base, it's so easy to get mobile flak in there. Once again, though, very easy for me to criticise. TGXnubfriedrice is a far superior player to me, so please don't take offence, pal. But yeah, I just feel if he'd have switched up to T2 earlier on, he could have lengthened the game out and got back on even terms. But well played, both guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will get this uploaded immediately and have more for you soon. In the meantime, take care. Signing out.